Hey there, my lovelies. Welcome along to another Rich T Rants. Um, this one's not one that I really wanted to do or hoped that I wouldn't have to do. Um, but let's cast your mind back about a week ago. The country was on an absolute wave of enthusiasm. We'd England team had played itself into a final for the first time in well over half a century. Um, Everyone was getting excited. Everyone was making plans. What are we going to do for this? What are we going to do for that? Really kind of positive with all the crap that we've gone through in the last kind of 16, 17 months. A bit of positivity, a little glimmer of positivity. So everyone's making their plans, families come together, people met up that hadn't met up for a while, all with the hope of like this Sunday just gone, that we'd see the England team lift a trophy for the first time, as I said before, in over half a century. However, what I didn't anticipate and what I don't think most of us anticipated was the level of morons and dickheadedness that happened before the game, during the game, and after the game. Um, Before the game, people smashing things up for no reason, uh, people sticking fireworks at their fucking arse, snorting cocaine with a crowd cheering them on, just general fucking moronic behaviour. We then cut to Wembley. All of a sudden, the mob decide, hey, I don't need to pay for a ticket to get in. Everyone else says, I don't need to. We're just going to literally run en masse at the poor staff that work there and barge our way in and nick people's seats that have paid money. Some of these people being families that when they turned up with their kids to sit down to watch a game that they paid for, they couldn't sit down because these fucking morons were sat in their seat and started getting a bit mouthy and a bit violent towards the people claiming back their seat that they'd bloody paid for. Then you get other people that manage to find ways to get in. What I'll do, quickly cover that. Watching BBC News last night, and they had a big interview with this guy that was quite openly filmed himself and his friends breaking a fire escape to get into Wembley to watch the game. Allowing him to make an apology. So they've got the guy on camera. They know who he is. Why aren't the police following this up and going arresting this guy? The guy's broken a fire escape with his friends, videoed it, and now all of a sudden, because there's been this wave, and absolutely there should be a wave of actual hatred from the country towards these fucking morons from Sunday, decides I need the BBC to apologise. And his argument was, I wasn't part of the mob that tried to kind of barge their way through at the front. We kind of snuck in the back door and broke a fire escape. Oh, well, that's all right then. You've done nothing wrong. You've got into a game that you shouldn't have paid for. You've done someone out of a seat. And the BBC gave these morons fucking airtime to show their little video that they made that they put on TikTok and whatever and on YouTube, and allowed them to make an apology in the way that it makes amends for what they've done. No, it fucking doesn't. And it infuriates me that these people come forward. The BBC want to give them time on the TV to boast about what they've done and then kind of dress it up and say, oh, but it's a form of an apology. Bollocks. The same with the people that barged in and robbed people of their seats. We should be hunting these people down and they should go to prison. It's as simple as that. Criminal damage, violence towards people, so assault, and theft because they've stolen someone's seat. That's three things straight away. Stick them in fucking prison. I've got no sympathy for them. As for the fucking morons outside, smashing up Trafalgar Square, smashing the windows of Italian restaurants, again, fucking morons. moronic behaviour. The moron that stuck a firework up his arse. It's a shame the thing didn't fucking explode and take him out. Then we get the worst case of it, or the worst part of this, and the most shameful thing that this country's had to kind of experience and see. Unfortunately, we didn't win. The dreaded penalty shootout reared its ugly head again, and we lost. But people then took it upon themselves to hurl absolutely disgusting racist abuse at the players that missed penalties in a penalty shootout. Now, I'm pretty certain most of us that were watching that game with a brain did kind of go, oh, for fuck's sake, what are you doing when these people miss the penalties? But never once did it think to kind of use a racial insult or to say stuff like, I hope your kids die and stuff like that. It's just not fucking right. And what I don't understand is, haven't Twitter and YouTube and TikTok got filters that pick up certain words that people post on their websites? I know that the word that I'm talking about, I'm not going to say because it's an offensive word, but it stands out a mile if someone puts it on a fucking TikTok post or puts it on a tweet on Twitter. So the minute it should be flagged, these websites to pick these words up and certain other words up, and straight away ban those people, get the post removed straight away. I don't understand how a lot of these posts just hung around and people could go and view them. These people shouldn't be given a forum to spout the bollocks that they were spouting. These lads that they were giving abuse to are all kind of like 18, 19, early 20-year-olds. Biggest game of their lives. Stood up, done something that I would never do, which is put your neck on the line and take a penalty in one of the most important games that this country's seen, as I say, for over half a century. And they step up and go, you know what, I'll have a go. So that, you know, your hat's got to go off to them. You've got to feel sorry for them after a penalty shootout, how they must feel. But it don't give people the right to throw the insults around that they did and the racial hatred that they posted online at these poor kids. It was just embarrassing. We basically look like a nation of absolute fucking morons to the rest of Europe and the rest of the world watching that and how it's panned out. It's been kind of muted that we're looking to try and host the 2030 World Cup. That ain't fucking happening. UEFA have looked at all the shit that's gone down over that final day. They're not going to risk letting us have the World Cup. Not when you've got these morons still around. It's all very well Boris saying he's going to ban these people from football. How many times have we heard this and they still managed to get a ticket? There's people that were banned from ever going and seeing an England game again because of being hooligans, and they still got a ticket and they still turn up, and then they catch him on camera and go, well, this is a guy that's been banned from watching England for life, but he's at an England game. So it means nothing. You know, if you're not, don't use words if you're not going to follow them through. You ban people for life from sporting events, not just football, any sporting event, because they could decide, well, okay, I won't get into a football game, so I'll go and give some people abuse in rugby or give some people abuse in cricket. They need to be banned from every sporting event for life and go to prison. Really, I think the some of the absolutely appalling stuff that was posted online, I think it's prisonable what they've done. I don't think it's smack on the wrist, don't do it again time. It's kind of, no, you're a fucking moron. And it just brought great shame on this country. You know, we've had a lot of shit that we've dealt with over the last, year and a half with coronavirus and the fucking morons how they behaved during that. And it was our time to kind of go, do you know what? Let's get behind our team. Let's have something good to cheer on. But no, these fuckwits decide that they're going to go on a rampage and smash everything up before the game, during the game, and after the game. And it is just an absolute crying shame. What doesn't help Also, which I do get a bit offended by, are people saying that it's just England fans in general that behave that way. No, we fucking don't. I don't. I know most of you watching this now don't behave the way that those fucking idiots behaved. So I'm not being lumped in with them. I refuse to be lumped in with them. I've seen a post yesterday. I had to kind of pull the guy up and ask him a question. His actual post was, much of the England fan base are either racist, idiotic, or moronic. So my point to him was, define what you mean by much, because it isn't all, and it's not the majority. It's a moronic minority that behave that way. The rest of us don't. So don't say it's much of the England fan base. In actual fact, saying it's a higher people that do that don't. It's wrong. So I pulled the guy up on it and just said, define what you mean by much. Are you kind of ensuring 50% of it, 75% of us? What are you saying? His answer was, well, you're just proving you're part of the problem by making that comment. Didn't make a comment. I just asked you, when you use the word much of the England fan base, how much do you mean? Do you mean much? Much normally means a lot. It doesn't mean a little tiny bit. Um, so yeah, I left it with that. I just said to him, you know what? There's no talking to people like you. We knew we were going to get the other home nations having a bit of a laugh because we didn't win, and that's different. That's banter. The Scots are obviously going to have a bit of banter with it. The Welsh are going to have a bit of banter with it. The Irish are going to have a bit of banter. Banter is one thing, but the stuff that was being spouted online after that game on Sunday isn't banter. It's not funny. It's not clever. It's fucking appalling. But to take this on another level, another kind of forum that I was kind of looking at and making comments on. Couple of people on there I've seen post before, and it's somewhere that I go on quite regularly. They were saying how appalling it is, the abuse that these players received after the game, and 100% I agree. But I did have to say to them, hang on a moment, I've jumped on here after certain games in the past with you giving abuse to Tottenham fans and calling them yids. If you look at the reason where that word comes from, it's almost racist. It's to do with the Jewish faith. So that could be treated as being racist. And people jump on there, yids, and all that kind of thing. I said, if you're willing to say that to Tottenham fans, which, if you trace back in history where that word comes from, a lot of Jewish football fans would be highly fucking offended by that word. You can't then turn around and take the moral high ground and say, well, I think that's appalling. What, people insulting people because of their race? Well, hang on a moment. You're having a go at an entire religion by using a defamatory word against people of the Jewish faith. So you're doing exactly the same thing. Much the same as if posting stuff, other people that are posted on his website, and the guy that kind of runs the kind of pace on Facebook, make derogatory remarks about people that come from other parts of the country, i.e. like Liverpool and stuff like that. And some of the things they say about people that live in Liverpool are appalling. But it's all right to do that. It's all right to mock tragedies that have happened to football clubs in the past. It's all right to mock that. That's not bad. But the minute the minute someone makes racist comments, they're going to take the moral high ground and say how disgusting it is. And I'm going, hang on a moment, you've got to balance this out. You can't say one type of hatred is okay, but another type of hatred isn't. So I think football really does need to kind of clear its act up a bit. Banter is one thing, kind of, saying another team's crap and your team's better, and some of the songs about players, if they're not personal, it's all well and good and it's funny, but not when you've got things like a couple of seasons ago, the player Billy Sharp. Unfortunately, his son passed away, and people were chanting that on the football field at him, making chants about the fact that his son has died. That isn't fucking on. That's not football banter. That's hatred. That's on another level, and we've got to stamp it all out. You can't just pick and choose and go, well, I'll make some nasty comments to those people because I think they deserve it, but I don't think these people deserve it. Don't make any nasty comments about anyone. Just have a bit of banter, have a bit of a fucking laugh with it. And yeah, I've been getting quite amazed by some people's reactions and the reactions to people online to what's going on, and almost kind of trying to legitimize um, spreading hatred online about football players. And it's like, no, you cannot legitimize it. There's no way that in any of this you can say, oh well, but there isn't. There isn't an oh well, but it's fucking wrong. So we need to stop this. We need to kind of the majority, which is you and I, that don't act like fucking morons. We need to kind of band together because strength in numbers. There's more of us that aren't morons that are. So we've got to all come together and stop the morons and not allow it to happen. And the law needs to step in and make sure that these things don't happen. So it's been a bit of a sad sad time for England in recent times, and kind of the kind of like the full stop of it was the absolute disgraceful things that happened on Sunday. It did for didn't make you proud to be English, and it should have been. It should have been a day when we were all proud, and we're proud of the players on the pitch, but it kind of detracted away from it. And it made the rest of Europe look at us and go, that's why we don't like them, because they're all fucking morons. It's not, we're not all like that. But the press will only show the worst case scenarios to make it look like, well, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, it's been a bit of a sad kind of few days from kind of Sunday onwards. Again, the morons of society. If any of you guys use TikTok, there's a family called the Smithy family that post, fun videos on TikTok about what their family got up to during lockdown to kind of pass the time away. And they're inoffensive. They don't call out anyone. They don't insult anyone. It's just a family having a laugh. Some moron decided to post their address online. So then people first of all started sending them takeaways, thinking it's funny. Then it kind of ramped up a bit that they were sending loads of things their way. So when the people are turning up to deliver, and then they're being told by the Smithy family, "Hey, I haven't ordered that," quite rightly, they're pissed off. They've lost money. Then it gets to the point where they're sending escorts, prostitutes round to the family's house. So this family have got young children. I mean, it doesn't make a difference whether they've got children or not. I'm just to emphasise the point. These kids were getting scared because at 11 o'clock at night, you've got some guy turning up in a flash sports car with a hooker in his car, and the hooker's turned up at the door thinking, "Oh, I've got a payday here," and they've wasted their time, and they've sent escorts to this family's house. So he's reported it to the police. He's left a couple of very kind of quite sad things on TikTok, kind of appealing for people to come and stop it now. Unfortunately, it's gone a stage further than that, and I've seen some things posted today from the Smithy family on TikTok that someone set fire to their car outside their house, and it also caught some of their house on fire, so they had to evacuate their house. Now, bearing in mind what they've already been through with, first of all, people sending takeaways and deliveries and stuff like that to their house, to kind of like people turning up, escorts turning up with their pimp, getting irate on their doorstep, to now their actual property and their car being set on fire. Now, why is it? Why have we got these? Why has this got to this stage? They're just a family that post fun videos on TikTok, and people think that they need to be harassed in this way. And they could not, without being melodramatic about this, these people could have died last night with this house, the fire with a car, and catching to the front of their house. They've already had to move once to get away from their old address because too many people knew it, because this dickhead went online with their full address. And now they're going to have to move again, and they're probably going to have to take themselves off TikTok, and the very thing that kept them happy, they're not going to be able to do anymore. And this is fucking wrong. Again, it's another example of our moronic society. And it is just really, really sad. I mean, there's a couple of GoFundMe pages to raise some money to help them. And I hope they get enough money so it does help them. And I hope they don't take themselves off TikTok, because it's harmless what they do. They don't upset people. They're not naming and shaming anywhere. It's just a family having a laugh, doing silly things in their garden, playing jokes on each other. It's fucking harmless. Excuse me. And it makes me so annoyed and so angry and really sad that we're not really covering ourselves in glory at the moment in this country with everything that's kind of going on. And I know this is a bit of a Debbie Downer of a post, but I do feel quite emotional about this. It's really, really sad. And even more round the corner is the fact that we've got the 19th of July rolling around, Freedom Day, which the press and the media are having a field day with, saying that the government shouldn't do it. It was them that gave the fucking name Freedom Day to this day in the first place, to make people think it meant everything's gone away. So the media started all this off. Boris never came out and went, oh, July the 19th is going to be Freedom Day. He never fucking done this. The BBC and ITV and Sky gave it this grand title that has made people think that on the 19th of July, everything goes away and we've got nothing to worry about anymore. Yes, we fucking have. We've got to still be careful. We've got to still be sensible. We've got to start thinking about others. And the behaviour that I've just talked about with the Smithy family and the football makes me worry that we're not going to have we're going to have a minority of people that aren't going to be bothered to look out for people. I can see what's going to happen. It's going to be like all the way through the other lockdowns. People, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do what the government tells me until now, when they can now walk into places without a mask on and make a scene and upset people. Well, the government have told me I don't have to wear one, so I'm not going to wear one. So you'll do what the government wants you to do when it suits you, when you can fucking upset people about it. But when the government asks you to do it to help people, no, don't want to know. And that's what we're going to get. We're going to get the morons. The morons are going to come out of the woodwork again. I feel so sorry for people that aren't able to have a vaccine due to medical conditions. And it's almost going to be like they're going to have to shield again. And it's not right. I know that we've got to unlock the country. I know we can't permanently stay in lockdown for the rest of our lives. Of course we can't. But we're not at a stage now where we can act like it's a tap and we've turned it off and everything's gone away. It fucking hasn't. I've just watched the news tonight and nearly 45,000 people have tested positive for coronavirus in the last 24 hours. The track and trace app has gone mental, and 500,000 people have been told to isolate in the last week. So it hasn't gone away. I would have sooner have relaxed a few things, but still kind of kept face masks and things like that until we haven't got nearly 50,000 people a day testing positive, because anyone who tests positive has got the potential to give it to someone else. So you might very well not even know where you've got it from. You might have been careful yourself and just been unlucky. So it's all, it is a really kind of, it's not a happy time at the moment. Everyone kind of looked forward to June opening up, but then it dawned on people this thing hasn't got better like they said it was going to. It's got worse. So I'm kind of glad that certain organisations and shops have stepped up and went, we would prefer it if you carried on wearing a face mask if you're indoors, which is fair enough. But unfortunately, the government are getting a lot of pressure from the travel companies and the airlines and the people who own nightclubs that are just thinking about that and not thinking about people's lives. They're just thinking about, we need to make money. We don't care if people die, as long as we make money. Well, what's the point of having a nightclub if everyone fucking dies? No one's going to come to your nightclub then, are they? So, what's the point of the airlines putting pressure on And then day by day, more and more places are getting added to the red list, and people can't fly there anyway because you've forced things early. People have gone abroad, picked it up, brought it back, and now boom, it's gone out of control. Yes, we do have to find a way of living with coronavirus. We can't lock ourselves away. I completely understand that. It's not good for our mental health. It's not good for the economy or anything. But we have to find a way that doesn't mean let's act like it isn't there, because that isn't the way to tackle anything. Anyone will tell you if you've got a problem, ignoring it and pretending it's not there makes it twice as bad. It doesn't make it disappear. It just makes it worse because then you're in denial. So I'm not going to be waving a flag this coming Monday on the 19th and say, yay, it's Freedom Day. Because for a lot of people, it isn't. For a lot of people, it's, oh, shit, I can't risk going out. Because there's going to be dickheads out there refusing to wear masks, saying, well, the government told me I don't have to wear one. I don't have to be careful anymore. You do have to be careful. But trying to tell these people the only way you'd ever get the message home to them is if you drew it on your knuckles and punched them square in the face. And then they would understand, probably. But you know, that's the way it is at the moment. So at the moment, it's been kind of a bit of a shit week, and hopefully things are going to get better. Hopefully Love Island to finish soon, so that'll obviously make things a lot better, because that's a fucking waste of time. And I'm not going to get into about Love Island. I don't know enough about it because I don't watch it, because I think it's shit. But people are kind of we're up in arms that there's too much football on the TV, and then moaning that Love Island was made later and stuff like that. It's like, well, it doesn't matter, does it? You know, at the end of the day, it was something the whole country got behind. Not the whole country's going to get behind who shags who in a villa abroad somewhere. Who really cares? You know, they're going to pretend they're going to get in a relationship, and then 2 weeks after the program finishes, they fucking hate each other's guts. But they've got their 5 minutes of fame out of it, and now they become a celebrity out of trying to get inside someone's knickers or trying to get inside someone's pants. Again, it just shows the sadness of how the world is at the moment. Anyway, I'm not going to depress you anymore. I just need to get it off my chest. I have to be honest. I do a lot of these videos because it helps me kind of stay sane, to be truthful. It helps, you know, anyone who knows that's ever suffered from anxiety, and anyone that knows me knows that I have. The way that it helps me cope is to kind of get all my emotions out and spout it through this and stick it on YouTube and let people either look at it and go, oh, shut up, you twat. Or people sit there and post nice things on YouTube like they've done recently, saying, oh, thanks for the video, it really made me laugh. And if people, me ranting makes people laugh, then great. If me ranting makes people join in and do the same thing to make them feel better, then great. So I appreciate all you guys that do go and watch it on YouTube. I will try and get the app or the program that I've got on my laptop working, so I can do better quality looking videos and maybe do kind of reaction videos. But at the moment, it's a fucking nightmare. I can't get it to work. So if anyone's got any tips, any software they can suggest better than what I'm already trying to use, let me know. You know, hit me up on the Facebook page, the Rich T Facebook page, or hit me up on the YouTube page. So with that, my lovelies, I'm going to love you and leave you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't let the morons grind us down. We're better than them, and we need to show that. So without wasting any more of your precious time, take care. I'll be on here very soon with another Rich T Rants video. In the meantime, take care, my lovelies. See ya.